and welcome to Go Riding TV. On today's episode, we're going to check out a backhoe that goes over 150 miles an hour. We're also going to check out the launch of a new three-wheel roadster. As well, we're going to go to the muddy bogs of BC to see what the guys have been up to.
Go Riding TV is brought to you by GoRideOntario.com. Ontario, yours to discover. By Yamaha, what kind of Yamaha are you? And by G-Max Helmets, quality helmets for everyone and every ride.
Let's go riding.
It's a great ride, and the camaraderie is bar none the best.
As long as you enjoy mud and a good time, it's a good challenge, great fun ideas. Lots of good people to get along with, they're very friendly. It's an awesome time.
Get together and everybody likes to do the same thing. So, mud, rain.
It's lovely to come here. I come here with my brothers, my kid, whole shot, all my buddies. Have a good time.
The people are coming are awesome people. They're very friendly. There's no arguing or bickering or nothing like that out there. Everybody's having a ball. If everybody gets stuck, everybody all gets together and help them out.
Just meeting the people is one thing to come out for.
If socializing and meeting other riders is what contributes to your cravings for a spin on the quad, then the Spring Jam in Parry Sound, Ontario is one event you may want to add to your list of good time rides.
Canada's largest ATV jamboree happening here in Parry Sound. It's Spring Jam. It's our 5th Spring Jam, our 7th jamboree in total in this area. We have about 450 people registered for this event. We started with just a little club ride out of my house about, was it 2002. And looked out my window in the morning expecting about 25 people, and we had over 100 people there on my front yard. So we said, hey, there's something here, we want to do something a little bit more. So in 2003 we had our first Spring Jam, and it's grown ever since that time. We've experimented with going 2 or 3 days and different types of things. We found that Friday and Saturday works best. People love to play hooky from work and come on up and have a great time on the Friday as well as the Saturday. The poker jam was today, and people could also ride some trails. So I think we have 13 sponsors for the poker jams. People pick up cards and they get a chance to win $1,000. There's 2 prizes for $1,000. Tomorrow is when all the trail events take place, starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's a breakfast starting at 7 that's sponsored. That's a charity event, and also there's an ATV wash that's sponsored at the end of the day for the Foley firefighters.
It's no easy task integrating hundreds of ATV enthusiasts and their rides into a small town and keeping the peace with the locals. But the townsfolk of Parry Sound are awesome and work with the organizers and riders to make this a great event for everyone.
It's wonderful to see the town of Parry Sound welcoming the ATVers here and passing a bylaw to let them drive everywhere on the streets. I think that sort of thing will just boost it. My compliments to Andrew Ryland as the organizer of it, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger every year and be a real boost for the Parry Sound, Georgian Bay area.
The town of Parry Sound has been very welcoming to us. We had to convince them that we were going to run a very tight ship and that these ATVers weren't going to be driving up on sidewalks and that type of thing. So we've had lots of marshals out. We have over 33 staff working very hard on this event to make sure things stay in line.
Well, we recognize the benefit to the business community in the shoulder season, and the ATV as a sport is growing and growing rapidly, and we want to be able to tie into that. And so we allow the ATVs on the streets. We have certain conditions. They had to be off the streets at 3 o'clock because the schools get out shortly after that, and wanted to ensure there was safety of the children. But we're more than happy to have them here and to enjoy the weekend, and hopefully it'll be a safe weekend, an enjoyable weekend for all of the riders.
As the starting point of the Canadian Shield, the mixed terrain this area has to offer is perfect and fitting for all levels of riding abilities.
We have a phenomenal trail system set up here. We have 2 major trail systems, Grand Trunk, which is about 75 kilometers long, and we have Georgian Rocks, which is a very technical trail. It's about 35 kilometers long. Georgian Rocks covers, like I said, 35 kilometers. It's a very technical trail. There's a lot of mud and water and rock. It's through a private trail system, a series of private trail systems. It's going to end up in some gravel pits and sand pits where we're going to have a huge luncheon for the people on that particular tour. People that have been ATVing for years will love it. People that are just brand new will just find it fascinating as well. The Grand Trunk is a longer route, lots of water on that route. It's an old trail, an old train bed, so they'll find it a little easier driving. It's for the people that are beginner to intermediate class or people that have passengers.
The trails probably the best in Ontario. I've spent many, many miles on these trails. We have the most challenging and the easiest riding. You can have every level of experience out here having a great time. And that's what it's all about. We're gonna hit some good puddles tomorrow. Everyone's gonna have a great time. And no one gets left behind.
That'd be a bad approach. A bad approach.
We're prepared to get wet and muddy. I mean, our hotel room's got showers, and we're really looking forward to a good weekend.
If you like getting dirty, then this is the sport for you.
I was here last year, had a great time, and thought I'd come back and do it again.
This is my first time.
4 years now I've been coming up here now for Spring Jam. Love it every time.
I'm a total novice.
Stock ran out of gas. I've had a great day.
I hope you're not putting this anywhere.
No. We've been here 3 years now, just for the ATV rally. It's probably the best weekend of the year.
The Spring Jam in Parry Sound, Ontario. A blast in the bush, some challenging terrain, and a collection of new faces you'll call friends by the end of the event. All good reasons to go riding.
You know, the expression is, I'm too old for this shit. I'm getting there.
It's serious pony power when Go Riding returns.
How's my gloss holding up?
Beautiful.
Had a great time.
Okay, we'll call this one the Yogi, because it ain't your average bear. Who'da thunk it? This bad boy backhoe is capable of running over 150 miles per hour and is officially the world's fastest. When our cameras caught glimpse of this unique ride, we had to get the scoop on what is called the JCB Drag Racing backhoe.
About 27 years ago, there was an Irish comedian called Frank Carson, and he used to tell the jokes about being stuck behind a JCB on the road, because typically a backhoe does about 18, 19 miles an hour. And he said, wouldn't it be great if JCB had built a GT that nobody would get stuck behind? And the owner of the company, Sir Anthony Bamford, said, let's build a backhoe. And hence we built the JCB GT. That was 27 years ago. We ran that machine for about 10 years, and then we put that into mothballs. Forgot all about it for the last 10, 12 years. And then literally 2 years ago, Sir Anthony said, it's about time we did something else with the GT. So we built a new one, and that's the vehicle that we have here today. And we call it the JCB GT2. This is a Chevy big block Merlin 3, 572 cubic inch, developing about 1300 horsepower. And typically on the 8th mile, we'll pull a wheelie down the most of the 8, getting up to about 82 miles an hour.
Coming out of Savannah, Georgia, the JCB Drag Racing backhoe is certainly a draw for any event. So when it showed up about 6,000 kilometers away from home in North Bay, Ontario, it was no accident.
The backhoe is really unique. I'd never seen it before. I only heard about it a few months ago. It is a big attraction up here. The corporation is 100% behind this. It brings to light what can be done for an attraction vehicle and how it fits into drag racing from a construction point of view. You think there'd never be a mix, but it does. It mixes in quite well.
When it comes to heavy equipment, normally we label them as a pain in the butt because they slow down the traffic flow. But this unit draws totally different reviews.
I think the major reaction we get every time we run it is people cannot believe that a backhoe is going down a drag strip doing 80, 90 miles an hour. So the crowd's faces when you come back down the return lane, you just get a standing ovation down there. It's brilliant.
Okay, it has looks, it has power, and certainly draws attention. But what's it like when you'd climb into the driver's seat and give it a ride?
That you can't explain to anybody. I mean, say you see the dragsters go down the drag strip, they're streamlined. This is just a big chunk of metal. There's nothing streamlined about it. So it's not the easiest thing to control. especially when we pull it up into a wheelie. We don't have fiddle brakes or anything, so I'm just pointing and hopefully it'll go in a straight line.
So, you've got your dirt bike, where are you going to ride it? If you have a dirt bike and you live in the city, a lot of kids unfortunately ride on construction zones, the park, schoolyards, and the cars with the lights on top are gonna come and visit you. So to be legal, when you're at the dealer buying a bike, find out where can you legally ride it. There are areas in Ontario, all across Canada, that welcome dirt bikes. You might have to spend a little money and pay a day rate or a yearly rate to go there and ride, but at least you know that it's a safe area, that you're allowed there, and there's not going to be maybe Jeeps and trucks coming towards you. So a really important thing to find out before you buy a bike is where you're going to ride it. If you're in some parts of our country, for instance in BC, don't just ride up any mountain path. That might be a very sacred land, native land, and you're not allowed to ride there. So get permission. If there's no trespassing signs, pay heed to them, because the future of our sport is based on keeping it safe and legal.
And don't go away, because when Go Riding returns, we're going to check out the launch of something awesome, the CanAm Spyder.
Nothing better than an ATV ride on a beautiful day with good company and good friends and great trails. This is the way to go. And on top of it, you can use them 10 months out of the year. And maybe if you're that even more die-hard, you can get tracks for the last 2 months out of the year, which is even better.
This is what ATVing is all about.
Having attended a few of their product launches in the past, we know that BRP, Bombardier Recreational Products, doesn't spare the horses with this sort of thing. Known for their Ski-Doo snowmobiles, Sea-Doo watercraft, and Can-Am ATVs, we were intrigued by the invitation that didn't disclose what we would be riding. So yes was the answer on the RSVP, and it was off to sunny San Diego for a mystery product unveiling. The product was the unique three-wheeled Can-Am Spyder Roadster, and never one to let us down, BRP set the launch up in style. The San Diego Air and Space Museum was booked for our private reception and provided us a great opportunity to explore everything from the Wright brothers' efforts to the actual Apollo 9 entry capsule. Wow, what a start. Just when you're getting the feeling innovation was a key part to the program, BRP unveiled the new Spyder and qualified it to the max. This unique vehicle is all about finding new riders and creating a different market segment.
We had product for the snow, we had product for the water, we had product for off-road, and we're looking to attack the road market, which is a huge segment for us. And we didn't want to come with another motorcycle. There is plenty of established players in that industry, and for us it will be a long-term battle. Then we force ourselves to identify how could we go on the road with the know-how, with the technology that we have. And that's when we have identified that segment between the motorcycle and convertible sport car. It's an open segment, and basically the Roadster is trying to bring to the customer a product which is the perfect balance between performance, what you can find on a motorcycle, but also peace of mind, what you can find on a convertible sport car. Then you have the advantage of both. You have open road feeling, you're going in the wind, you have the sound of the road, you have the people all around you, then all the good things from the motorcycle, but also the peace of mind that you can have into a convertible sport car. I mean, very stable, at rest, and you can relax on the vehicle. You don't have to watch all the time about holes or patch of oil or object that is on the street. And on top of it, we have all the vehicle stability system to make sure that the vehicle is safe in any normal situation.
Basically, what we want to give is emotion to the consumer. What it takes to give emotion is power. What power will give you is good acceleration. What brake will give you is good deceleration. So we had this on one side, and we had to balance this in case the consumer will be caught in some difficult situation. That's why we have put stability system like traction control. So if the consumer will overshoot a bit in some situation, the traction control will be there to support the rider to bring it back to, let's say, a more peace of mind condition with his vehicle. So it was really to give the maximum performance and at the same time make sure that our consumer will be able to enjoy the ride and focus on the ride and the experience that it will have with Spyder.
After a cool night of tech talk and videos, it was saddle time for the 100-plus journalists that were specially invited for this launch. From all over the world, riders and riders were given the chance to test ride the Spyder. The gear was plentiful as the demo site was organized and set to handle all shapes and sizes with riding gear. Once suited up, technicians provided a walk-around orientation of the Spyder, and then it was off to the pylon course for a qualifying ride prior to hitting the road course.
So let's start kind of with the heart of it. It's a V-twin.
Spyder opens the road to a lot of new power sports enthusiasts to discover the open road. We're democratizing motorcycling. We're democratizing the open road. For those who weren't comfortable with a motorcycle, they have a stable vehicle that gives them all the benefits of a sports car, all the peace of mind of the sports car, and the wind in your face of a motorcycle. It's a great balance, and we call it a roadster.
Looking closely, you'll notice some great similarities amongst the various products of BRP. The design team has created threads that run throughout the BRP lineup. From the Spyder to the Ski-Doo and the CanAms to the Sea-Doos, the lines are common.
That's a bit of our job at design, to make sure that we have a familiarity between all of our product line. So Spyder is not different from those other segments. So DNA like downlines, positive curves, facial expression, we think it's very important that our product convey an emotion. So in all of our products, it's going to be tweaked differently, but you're going to find that they're intertwined into the styling. And when you look at, one of our snowmobile, one of our personal watercrafts, even our ATVs, you will find similarity with the Spyder.
Well, first, when I saw a picture of this thing, I was blown away. Okay. Seeing it in person, yeah, you are awed, stunned. You want to run your fingers across it. You want to have your picture taken with it. I was actually going to ask you to shoot one for me. It just looks incredibly cool. Like it's a toy you want to show your friends.
Watch for an aggressive consumer demo program coming this summer for your chance to give this high-tech three-wheeler a spin. Early sales have been brisk and it's limited build for the initial release, so be quick if you're interested. Closed captioning is sponsored by GoRidingTV.com, the powersports website for all enthusiasts.
Don't go away. These mudders are up next. If you like down and dirty, then boy, have you just won the lottery. Check this mess out.
Perhaps it's the bragging rights or just the sheer love of the challenge, but many off-road enthusiasts absolutely love a good mud hole. Be it on a 4x4 or an ATV, these thrill seekers love to get down and dirty, putting both man and machine to the test.
I'm riding a 2007 Kawasaki Brute Force 750. It's got some light mods done to it, just K&N, got the tires and got a winch on it. You gotta have one of them.
Tipping the scales in the heavyweight division of wild weekends that are based solely on having fun is the Post Hill Mud Fest. Taking place annually on the May long weekend, it's an unsanctioned event that has no official organizers, no prize money, and no trophies. But this anything-goes weekend of horsepower hijinks is an incredibly popular one. Without any marketing or promotion, other than word of mouth and a viral internet discussion spreading the word, the Post Hill Mud Fest draws almost 2,000 spectators into the middle of nowhere just north of Kelowna, British Columbia. Making the spring pilgrimage to a secluded area up in the BC mountains, over 100 mud runners show up to play in the bogs and push their machines to the limits. It's quite a party environment that brings out a fantastic mix of folks who are all there for the same reason. These guys and gals are here for a good time, and these West Coast Wildchilds sure do it upright. The competition is free-flowing and runs pretty much on nothing more than if the lane is open, give it a run attitude.
It's a 1971 AM General. It's from the U.S. Army. I bought it off a guy from Quesnel that imports them from the U.S. across the border, and drove her home from Quesnel, and now she's here. She's got 53-inch tires and 5-ton Rockwell axles. It's 6-wheel drive, 20,000 pound winch, and she'll pretty much go anywhere. It's 350 horsepower Cummins non-turbo. So I'm actually going to use it for work. I'm going to put a dump box on it with all the hydraulics in the back, and yeah, use it for work.
Don't be fooled though. Along with a collection of homemade beaters that might run a couple of grand, there's also some serious ponies running in these mountains. Some of the big rigs have got over 80 grand invested into them, and when they get revved up, the mud really hits the fan, especially for those standing too close. If playing in the mud is what you like to do, and the BC mountains are something within reach, this is one event you'll like to check out. If you and your buds mix it up at a cool event, be sure to let us know about it. Log on to the Go Riding TV website, fire us off an email, and maybe we can make a date for the crew to capture your hoo-ha.
Submarine, and back out it comes. Ballerina, driving it out, super, look out, baby. Flips into the tray, driving it out backwards. Back into the tray. Oh yeah, hold on, Ron. Fountain at the back, one-handed fountain. Come on, ladies. 1, 2, where's he going? 180 deep side with a big spray on that. Goes 180 side. Oh yeah, 1, 2, around he goes. Big trouble, 180 sub, driving it out backward. Oh yeah, big handstand off the nose. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Carnevale from Timmins, Ontario, doing the bicycle. Oh yeah. Oh, baby, crash.
Go Riding TV has been brought to you by Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? By GoRideOntario.com. Ontario, yours to discover. And by Snowgore Canada Magazine, Canada's best snowmobiler. Join us next week for some very cool track day excitement and a sampling of an ATV rodeo competition.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you have any cool ideas, comments, or any events that you'd like our staff to cover, surf over to our website at www.goridingtv.com and send them to us. We'd love to hear from you.